What is up, guys? Houdini here, and welcome back to Telltale's The Expanse. Yes, Telltale are back after 4 years since the end of the Walking Dead series. They kind of disappeared for a while, and they were reborn out of the ashes of old into something new, something cool. And we know that Wolf Among Us Season 2 is coming, but first they decided to kick things off with The Expanse. This is based on a book series and a TV show, a really great TV show. I think the game follows the TV show the most. It's available on Amazon Prime right now. It's worth playing. Now, I have received a review code to play this, so full disclosure, of course. Well, I've been enjoying it so far. This is episode 3, called The First Ones. We played episode 1 and 2. There will be 5 episodes and a secret 6th one, and it seems like they're releasing them all 2 weeks apart, and so far they have lived up to that little outline they have for each episode, which is great, So yeah, episode 3, so far things are cool. It's set before the events of this show. It's a prequel. We play as Camina Drummer. She comes into the show around season 2 and becomes quite the incredible character. So it's really cool to see some of her early days, Very cool. Starting out as a street kid on board Ceres station, part of the Belters, then joining up with the OPA, the Outer Planets Alliance, which are basically a rebel group fighting against Earth and Mars, and eventually manning her own battle station with the Behemoth. So yeah, really cool. We've bumped into a couple of characters we remembered already as well, which is awesome. It's a great show. If you like sci-fi with a little bit of science fiction instead of science fiction, where they try and basically make things as real as possible, it's really it's really good. It's kind of like a mix of Halo and Mass Effect. That's the best way I can put it, coming from video games, where you've got like an alien presence. There's like a discovery that propels humanity's technology forward and allows us to kind of basically start a proper generation in space, I've been enjoying it so far. Yeah, episode 1 and 2, we got to see a young drummer aboard the Artemis. We started off pretty hot and heavy with a mutiny where the captain basically tried to kill Drummer. She survived, luckily, and was able to get back on board. And yeah, you had a choice to basically space him, killing him, pushing him out of the airlock, or putting him into the brig. I chose to space him. And then in episode 2, we got infiltrated by some space pirates, and we had some heavy choices there as well, including a love interest, Maya. We've got Maya. She's from the MCRN, which are the Martian Coalition. So it's set in the 2300s, where Earth and Mars are now heavily at war. And you've got the Belters, as they're called, people who live on the fringe of space, on the Ceres station and a few other places, just surviving. No longer is normal currency the thing. It's all about air and water. Who needs it? Who wants it? Who would die for it? Who would kill for it? Alright, episode 3, First Ones. Drummer scours a mysterious station for treasure and is forced to make a painful decision. Now, I'm not too sure, but this looks awful like Phoebe Station, which is extremely important to the whole series. The Phoebe Station is on board Phoebe, which is one of Saturn's moons, and yeah, what seems to be just a normal little outpost turns out to be a very nasty shadow organization doing some experiments on aliens and stuff. So yeah, I hope that's what it's about. That's kind of what kicks off the entire show. It's really impressive. My advice would be to watch the first 2 seasons. They're pretty short. It's one of those kind of, it went from sci-fi to Amazon Prime, so sometimes it's 6 episodes, sometimes it's 8, sometimes it's 12. So yeah, they're not long. Yeah, the first 2 seasons are fantastic.
If you are receiving this message, it means you've found.
And after that, see how you feel.
You've come, and with you comes the
You've
next
come!
Great step in the evolution of humanity.
Roger.
We have been preparing for your arrival for years.
Creepy.
Perhaps centuries.
So that's them talking to the
We have been
aliens.
patient. We know you have much to teach us.
That is creepy.
If you can hear my voice, whoever you are, welcome home.
She's so pretty. She's such a little baddie. This actually could be Phoebe Station.
It just repeats after that.
Like they're sending a message
Who was
to
that?
the aliens.
The head of the station, presumably.
So the way the aliens work on this, like I said, is based in science. Fact, So they're not little green men. It's more on the molecular level. So they're called proto-molecular. Think of it a hive mind. If you've ever seen like a bioluminescence or a bioluminescent plankton in the ocean, that kind of stuff, sort of that going on, except it's floating in 0G, and it turns them into some woeful zombies, very close to the husks from Mass Effect. It's pretty cool. And they call it the proto-molecular, and it's kind of cool. It's yeah. It goes into a lot of great theories. How's it going, Dynamo? How you doing? So finally, the whole thing has been blown open, right? The safe has been blown open for the new season. What do you think, dude? What do you think? What was your first impressions? It's okay, be honest. For me, for the skins, not too impressed. First impressions, but the more I think about it, I'm actually pretty happy. We completely guessed Ahsoka. That was pretty. Yeah, that was pretty well. Kept hidden, right? But we guessed it yesterday.
Sounds more like a cult leader to me.
She looks great.
Someone
and Fish Sticks is... Or Fish Stick, yeah, he's good. I bet you Kanye West gonna be happy about that.
Generations ago, millions of Earthers tried to set up mining stations in the belt. Some of them lasted.
I really like the vampire guy. We've
right
usually been able to allow get the skins of the bosses, so I'm hoping this is no different.
Still,
so yeah, first impressions.
Uncharted and seemingly
we'll see.
Uninhabited.
It's meant to be over 20 different mythics that could really break the balance of the game. But I saw the kinetic blade. I think it might be a mythic as well.
None of the scanners penetrate past the first level.
We'll see. Hey, Pyro, how's it going, dude? I like it when they're little green men with big eyes. Ooh.
Looks clear.
What is it? Is you an eye person? You like the eyes? What brought the core here? Yeah, we need to know what this MK core is. I don't know that as part of the series, so I think it's just something, one of those MacGuffins they've made for this game. I've been enjoying it so far. Like, it's far better than some of the old Telltale in terms of gameplay. Like, we've genuine movement, you know. QTs are back, but like no longer is the stupid fast robot walk shit we did for like 6 games, you know. It feels like a game.
Something about
the first ones.
The first ones.
Cool.
Fuck does that mean?
We'll know till we get inside.
So it might be a little bit spoilers, but the aliens,
stay on the ship.
They were sent
be ready to burn hard if there's any
Earth
activity on the radar
to take over, and they got sucked up into Saturn's gravity. So thank you, Saturn.
I will head inside
and yeah, end up landing on this little moon of Phoebe, otherwise known as Saturn's 9th moon. And of course, as these corporations were expanding and terraforming, they found the stuff and have begun experimenting, basically using humans as guinea pigs. That old chestnut, huh? The old shitty pharmaceutical companies and shadow organizations. But yeah, it's really, really, really cool. I enjoy the alien aspect of it because it has, although it's completely illogical, you know, it would take an insane miracle for something like that to happen. But the way they've done it, it doesn't mince around it. It's not just some kind of fantastical stuff. It's closer to Interstellar, that type of stuff. Science fact. Speaking of which, Starfield, huh? They've already launched like a list of movies to watch to get you in the mood. NASA punk stuff, you know. So Interstellar, Ad Astra, Alien. I dig it. Calling it NASA punk, huh? There has been a weird like fascination with NASA in terms of fashion in the last like 10 years. Even pennies, like you just see NASA on stuff and you see girls just wearing NASA. Mine access. We might actually come in contact with the Proto model.
Exactly how old is this place?
Too old to be on any maps.
Hope you guys are doing good.
Years.
Damn.
Maybe we'll play a little bit of it later if you're down. Just the last day before the season switches over. I know it's going offline, but it's usually like 6 or 8 a.m. or something. A couple of skins I'll probably use,
This is fucking strange.
The 1500 V-Bucks, exactly. I wonder what Ahsoka's cosmetics. Yeah! For real. She looks good. A little bit chunky.
Let's search for the command center.
So they're going for an older Ahsoka. I kind of prefer her when she's younger. Something about the younger Twi'leks I like. But has any of you guys watched the show yet? I'm hearing great things, fantastic things about it. It's only 2 episodes so far, right? So yeah, can we still do 0G? We can. Okay, cool. This is they're definitely proud of this. Nearly every episode we've been able to do this. Whee! And they should be, you know, they should be. So in the last episode we had a choice whether to keep things professional
People used to wear
or to
these things
fuck
for
the living
barbecue.
shit out of Maya. And you don't need to ask which one I did.
An entire station.
But now
Completely
she's with us
abandoned.
now, so she may be a liability.
I can't even
It
imagine
could
what
cause
could've happened here.
some jealousy on board.
Maybe we'll find out.
Also, it
As
could,
long as it's on the way to finding the
could
MK
cause
core.
us to do stupid things in the name of
The
love.
station is ancient, but the nav beacon
The
is
name
new.
of love. 8 a.m. See, I was right. I told you. I wonder, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think if you put like 900 down, you can get 1,500 back. It's not the worst, not the best. She's not a tweet. Oh, shit. What am I thinking of? What's the name of her race then? I always get those confused. It's like a slightly different thing with the
The
ears.
X
Is it?
power is on these breaker points.
This might be still after
The
the
sector
fact.
is now powered. There are 3 total. Each should have its own control room like this.
It might not be
3
Phoebe either.
sectors. I'll go ahead to find the control centers in each one. You keep scanning the servers for any leads.
Looks like
Fine.
nearly all of the guns are going away.
Have the fun to yourself.
But there's going to be a scoped burst SMG.
I'll call you once I power up the
That
next
could be
sector.
great as shit. Yeah. It's going to be a mad dash to all of these mythics. And you can already tell that it ends up creating a
The idea of
very
exploring
strange
this whole station doesn't
cathedral.
appeal to me.
Uh-oh. Cathedral scratched in
Whoever
there.
said riches came easy.
No, that means calm station. Stupid fucking cults. It always is. But yeah, they have a knack for creating a horrible imbalance in the game, you know? They did it with the Mythic Havoc pump, or Mythic, whatever, yeah. And they got rid of that, and then they put it back in with other stuff, and it's like, for the love of Jesus Christ, who balances these games? Like, I know there's the idea of the Halo rocket launcher, it's always kind of been a thing. Who the fuck is this? Hello? That's fucking creepy. Oh my god. It's like they set themselves
There's a
up.
dead body here. He seems almost posed.
Ready for the
That's
aliens.
weird. Do you think it's related to the core?
Don't know.
Looks like the Citadel
I'll
is
keep
being
searching
replaced.
around.
My god.
The last one? Huh.
The vacuum to preserve my body. Trust Dalton. Oh shit. We will live again. Oh god, yeah, they're like a cult that's clearly heavenly and fucking
Okay.
waiting for
This group
aliens
calls
as if
itself
some
the Cassiopeia Collective.
higher order.
Landed here in 2226. They were an unlicensed settler community from Earth.
What happened to them?
No clue. Nothing good by the looks of it.
Yeah, Earth was definitely involved with all this, but it was without the UN knowing. Yeah, this one snuck around, huh? Tomorrow will be Armored Core. 2 weeks just fucking flies by, man. It flies by.
If Cox was right, we're about to hit the greatest score a scavenger has ever come across.
That's what he said.
So, what do you
Cox.
plan to do with it? The money, I mean.
I'll head back to Ceres.
You want to go back to the station where there's a bounty on your head?
With this money, I can make the bounty disappear.
How? By going to war with Dawes?
By making him irrelevant. I'm going to build an OPA that actually helps Belters.
Ooh. She worked for Anderson Dawes for a while. OPA are basically like a rebel group. Means Outer Planetary Alliance. With Earth and Mars fighting each other. People on the fringe living out on the asteroid belt, known as the Belters, have just been slowly dying off. Being used as ports.
Falota.
Jesus.
Drummer? What happened?
Dead bodies. Many of them.
They're all like prepped. If they know what they know,
I'll head to the power. Then we can investigate it together.
the protomolecule feeds off
Fantastic.
human life force and
So what about you?
meat, basically, flesh.
What are you going to do with your share?
It's more of a radiation thing than
I don't
anything.
know.
But if they're
I haven't thought
prepping their
about it.
bodies to be,
Philota,
it's fucked
you
up.
must have some
It is
idea.
like the settling the bells, right?
You could pick a station to settle in. Set up shop.
The
as an
Old People
engineer.
Alliance, right? Yes,
I
yes.
could. I'd miss flying around though. Maybe I'll buy the Artemis off con.
God damn it.
You can call me.
Imagine they
Captain
just start
Chicken.
beating everyone with their canes.
Ah, this ship has had enough mutinies already.
Oh, hey, Pete. We won't take this stuff lying down. But I can't stand up.
I'm not familiar with the Dalton principle. Something tells me it's not exactly accepted science.
The Goldilocks zone, nice. That's what they really use. It's got to do with the chance of, you know, habitable planets and that. That's not creepy or anything. Oh, look, it's like they want to meet the aliens. That's funny! See, they think they're going to be little fucking, or in this case, maybe tall grey people. So you can see there's a signal being sent out. Even in the show, I haven't read the books, but even in the show, they never really figured out who initially sent it, you know. It's gone through galaxies upon galaxies.
Next life goals. Strange lesson for children.
Eat ice cream, fight the bacteria, tank the aliens. God, some of them really can't fucking spell or anything. Become Secretary General, okay. What are you guys up to today? Cadavers.
Bodies in the vacuum don't decompose. Guess that was the lesson.
What's with the mouth? Oh my god. You know this was a fucking sex doll beforehand. That is some dick taking right there. What the shit? See how fast we are now? We can go 0G and everything. Hell yeah, it's the little things. We have had some pirates to deal with. That's been fun. Look at these space coffins. That's crazy.
Looks like they were pulling walls
Very
off the
Egyptian.
station to fashion these caskets. Big pagal.
Damn. Something tells me if you ever see any blue around, blue is not a good color.
All of this
Jesus.
planning.
How do you think the compares to the rest of the
Just to
Telltale
prepare
games?
for their
So
own
far,
deaths.
it's definitely, in terms of like gameplay and movement, it's a huge improvement. But I can understand that if you're not familiar with the series, or if you're not a big fan of sci-fi, it's going to be a harder sell. Like, there's no doubt about it. For sure, you know? So, in terms of, like, I'd almost put it somewhere close to, like, Tales of the Borderlands, because I know a lot of people love that, but anyone who doesn't like Borderlands thinks that thing's a
These
piece of
aren't
shit,
just
you know?
coffins.
But that's a comedy, you know?
They're designed
This
to
is,
keep corpses in stasis.
sci-fi
virtually
drama.
forever.
So, I don't know. It's hard to tell, dude. It's hard to tell. I think things like Batman is just so universal, and same with Guardians of the Galaxy, and like with the Fables Wolf Among Us, that one, so many people didn't know about it, but because of the graphics and word of mouth, it did huge numbers, you know?
This feels like grave robbing. Even more so than usual.
I know. But just think of the historical value. These were some of the first people to try and survive out here.
Does historical value pay well?
Beats me.
All of this planning and
The problem
effort
with this one
just
is
to prepare for their own deaths.
it's right
These aren't
smack
just
dab in the
coffins.
middle of so many
designed to
massive
keep
games that are
corpses
out
in
right now, you know?
stasis,
So even with
virtually
them
forever.
doing a great job and putting an episode out every 2 weeks, and they haven't slipped from that yet, I like that. It feels like I am watching a show, you know? I think it's... I'm kind of over the episodic stuff, just in terms of a price model. So I'm still firmly in the camp of just give me the fucking game kind of thing, you know, that way. Like, I don't mind the $40 price tag. I genuinely don't. I think it's pretty decent for these. Same with Life is Strange. Same with those games like The Council, all that kind of stuff, you know, any of that. But I really am just past a lot of the episodic nature. It was after Life is Strange 2, I was like, you know, It was just a shit show. That's how not to do it, you know. And that was Square Enix. It took 15 months to get that game out. Was it worth it? Yeah, but there's no excusing that mess, you know.
You'd hardly know they'd given up on surviving.
I couldn't understand what was the cause of the problem, because the achievements and everything was there. I see, look, they just think it's so far out of the realm of possibility. So even though this is set in the 23rd century, they have not had any. But they've only been exploring this solar system. That's all we can do. So everything else has just been probes, but nothing's come back. But it's kind of cool. Like, I think this is exactly how aliens would go in our own lifetime. We would find alien organisms living in an underground lake or a frozen lake, or, you know, something like that. Just DNA or bacteria at the start. But honestly, when it comes to UFOs and stuff, I am a believer, but you know, it's from years of watching X-Files and just being fascinated with that side of the conspiracy. But it's most certainly not about little green men, tall grey aliens. I'm in the camp of energy. I think it's an energy thing. I think it's these tiny little tic-tac sized drones and UFOs. I genuinely think that that's the alien itself, you know. It's not just the technology. They're just a higher being than us. And yeah, it sounds goofy and it sounds fucking almost, you know, like a religion or something. But honestly, for anything to be so higher, like sophisticated in technology and as a being, it's not going to be something as stupid as a flying saucer. It's just not. Like, half of them will talk about this stuff and they'll go, they can travel at the speed of thought and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, and why the fuck would they need like bodies and physical manifestations of anything?
It's like a crypt.
I don't know. Walking Dead ones are the best. Maybe not the base, but yeah, that one was rough.
We don't get to be sentimental.
If you haven't played the final season of The Walking Dead, you really should. I would even urge you to go from season 1 to season 5 or 4, whatever the fuck it was at the end. Went mad, got desperate. I think it was crazy cult-like behavior.
Maybe the people here were abandoned and went mad. Who knows what else we
season 2 was fine, but you could tell that Clem was not old enough. So she was still like, go on that cat flap, go through that doggy door and all this. And it's just, or go through that tiny window. It was really annoying. It was like being a fly over her shoulder. You didn't feel like you were in control of Clem at all. It's a good season in terms of like stakes and that, but it's just, it's like one giant hand tied behind your back. And yeah, Tree is forgettable.
There's no sign of the core yet.
If they brought them back, it would have been fine. But
keep me posted on any more excitement you find.
Old Telltale's biggest problem was they couldn't hold on to talent, you know? So no consequence ever meant anything, you know? No choice, no action, nothing really meant anything. It was just the experience. Like, I made the conclusion pretty early on. I was like, look, the achievements are there, the trophies are there, the cutscenes are made. It don't matter how you get there, bitch, you're still going to get there, you know? The end goal all meets up. It might have branching timelines, but it has one ending. You know, it might have a little cutscene to show you off, like who lived and who died. But I always come back to like things like Chrissy and a few others who were these just throwaway characters where they were left alive. You know, if you did well at the end of a season, then thrown away like yesterday's news and just killed off screen. And at that point, I was like, okay, so we're not supposed to invest anything in any of these games. I think one of the biggest wastes of a character is Molly from season 1. She's this badass parkour bitch with fucking, she's got like a mask on and ice picks and just nothing, never brought back. You don't even see a bitch, nothing, complete waste of time. And you know what was funny is it was a Telltale thing, but it actually ironically was very indicative of the show as well, which also wasted characters. Fuck me. So it was a bit closer to home than they realized. Maybe they were just going for that. Like, at least just give us, like, a letter or something. I know it's stupid, but just give us something. The only character that genuinely followed you the whole way to the end nearly was fucking Kenny. And he's not everybody's choice, that's for sure. Hands of the king or the hands of a healer. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. You gotta love how people just grasp onto religion bullshit. And
looks like the medic was well liked.
when they get desperate. Look at all this signage up here is some kind of cult. You know, it's getting people to care about characters in a new IP can be hard, but getting people to care about new characters in IP that's already established characters is damn near impossible. Right. Like, I think you're already selling people a product of an extended universe, but this one's like a prequel, so I see like they're really trying to hammer home that you do not have to have watched the show, and I agree with that.
All these poor Sabakawalas.
It's just a nice little touch if you have already.
I submit this recording alongside the
Besides Drummer here,
records for future
we've
studies.
not met anyone else from the show, so you really are not missing something by playing this first.
I have hope our tragedy will prove instructive to the burgeoning.
But yeah, look at like Wolf Among Us, like
immunology.
that was pure
The pandemic which decimated this
word of
station
mouth. Everyone's like, holy
became
fuck, this looks amazing. But I guarantee you not 10% of the people who played that game had
I contend
read the
that it
comics,
was
you
our
know.
antibiotic air filters which provoked the initial evolutionary surge. But
Bum, bum.
it was the children
I'm
born to this station
trying to think.
whose stunted immune systems provided the fatal breeding
I don't think
ground.
any Telltale game has been an original,
In truth,
you know, story. Has
we
it?
all did.
Batman, Guardians of the
I
Galaxy,
had no chance.
Walking Dead, The Expanse, Wolf Among Us. Did I miss one? Tales of the Borderlands. No, I think they've all been based on a previous license. Which, yeah, as you said, it can be hard to get people into if they don't know of the license. But it's also a much safer bet, especially in these times where it's extremely hard, as you said, to launch a new IP. Look at
They were taking
Atlas Fallen.
supplements to combat living
Look at
in
Immortals of Avion. These games are going to fall by the wayside, and they might not necessarily
it.
deserve that.
The only reason we survive now is because of
Or
what we learned
Forspoken
from
or
settlements
something.
like this.
Forspoken should be treated as a lesson, a hard lesson, but it won't be. That lesson is to stop writing that kind of shite. The writing in this is really great,
These must be from.
but it helps that you've got
Okay, cool.
the original voice actress for Camina Drummer. You know, Cara G is she's got that wonderful, and she's Canadian. She's a full-blown Canadian accent, but she plays drummer so well. It's like this kind of this really strict, rough.
I suppose that's true.
You can almost see it the way she barely moves her jaw when she talks. Obviously, it's got a bit of an Asian accent too.
I will miss you too.
Oh, for fuck's sake. At least call me a well-walla, or tell me how you can kick my Martian ass.
I will miss kicking your ass, well, Walla.
Well, voila. You got a lot of their own little language.
Thank you.
It's based on Creole, which is French, American Southern. Let's see, so correct left maybe now? What does that do? I think I already figured it out today. Alright. I say connect right. Oh, that didn't sound good. What does that do? Oh. Nice cheeky little puzzle. You're never going to sell everybody, you know, but I think after The Walking Dead, and especially after Wolf Among Us, I think Telltale had garnered enough just fans of them, you know? So they're like, oh, if Telltale does it, and, you know, I think a good portion, well over 50% of these kind of narrative game fans are definitely more casual gamers, you know? There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I'd say, like, same with Life is Strange, I'd say they have above average amount of, like, say, female players rather than male, just because it's more approachable, and they might appreciate a story more than the guy who has 8,000 hours in Call of Duty or something, you know, that kind of way. There's nothing against it. It doesn't mean all women prefer more casual games, because that's clearly not the case with, you know, things like MMOs and that. But you know what I mean. I think there's a lot of people, I especially know, who really enjoy these narrative games like Life is Strange and all the Telltale games. Like, they will literally play all Telltale, and it's just their favorite. It's like opening a interactive book for them, you know. And I dig that. And it's, you know, besides the QTEs and that and the choices, they don't have any like consequences. We're not talking about getting like shot in the face if you don't react fast enough.
You seeing this?
It just means that there's more games for more types of people. I'm
How
very,
has
very
all of
okay
this
with that.
just been sitting here?
Their stories were
We
abandoned.
got claimed into the safe zone at the
like
end of
they
the second
were.
season. Then the
What
third
else
season
did
she
you
left for
think
some
there
reason.
was?
Yeah,
No opening
canon was she
back
wasn't
then.
supposed to stay there.
There wasn't even the word belter. But
Hey
as soon as
Lacuna,
we
how you
got
doing,
out here,
dude? Got the
somehow
glizzy out?
their
Oh
lives
shit!
didn't matter anymore.
That's what I'm doing under my desk right now.
Well, if that's how you feel, welcome to the OPA.
I'm serious.
Hope you're doing well today,
I'm
man.
serious too. The OPA
To get in
isn't
would be like
just
little
for
worms
dark
that you...
orphans or
Yes!
series. It's for anyone who wants
Me
to
too,
fight for
Pearl,
a free
me too.
belt.
That's kind of what they are
At
in
least that's
this
what it should be.
series. It's called the Proto molecule. It's based on... Yeah, it's that kind of stuff. So it's obviously a molecule, but it's also based on, like, seriously advanced technology. Like the... If you ever read up the theories on the Van Buren project and things like that, where it's basically about the concept of such sophisticated AI that it becomes a self-replicating machine, you know? It's basically the scariest thing you can think of when it comes to AI, where we're not only afraid of them becoming sentient, but now they are able to self-replicate, building machines, destroying us, and building a giant machine utopia that far beyond anything we can do, and it never stops. So even like it would make
Got some mining charges.
nanotechnology
Looks
seem like
disarmed.
pathetic.
Wait. How much do they look disarmed?
Disarmed enough. You clearly haven't handled many
In this
explosives.
world, the aliens feed
Guilty
off
as charged.
radiation.
Looks different from the coffins in the upper
And that
sectors.
includes
Maybe they
in
built them
humans,
in
you
the early
know?
days, before they ran out of supplies.
obviously being in space and everything. We have a high level of radiation. There's a lot of cool little advanced technology in this. They don't explain it too much, but it kind of just explains itself, like how they recover from injuries. You know, like Drummer herself here, she gets a couple of near-death experiences, including a crushed spine. But yeah, there's a machine, they call it. It's like AutoMed, I think. It looks like a giant wristband that you have to sit into. It's kind of like a machine hooked up to an IV kind of thing, but yeah, it's able to. It's got a cool skin grafting technology that almost looks like a tattoo sleeve that you're putting over here, but it's actually like skin grafts and stuff. So yeah, there's a couple of those moments where you're like, you gotta realize it's 300 years in the future.
Another nav beacon.
Hot dogs make me feel sick. Calling them glizzy doesn't help. Yeah, I used to love a good old hot dog, but one time I was living on my own and I was like, oh, 8-pack of hot dogs? Hell yeah. And then, you know, that kind of college bachelor life, I just decided to eat all 8 of them, one after another, and I vomited like I'd never vomited before. And I haven't touched the hot dog since. What you want is those real-ass hot dogs, you know, the almost like a German brats or a takeaway sausage. We call them Tullamore sausages, so like the bee's bollocks. Yeah, this is super fun. So, like, I definitely would recommend it to, obviously, the show fans. But I'd also recommend it to sci-fi fans just in general, you know? Or maybe you've been looking for a new show. What doesn't help is Amazon is not long after cancelling the show. But there's a good 6 seasons there. And it's probably for the best, honestly. Not that the show was getting bad, but because this is set in the future, there's some different rules going on. So the average person's lifespan in The Expanse is 120 years. And it's due to space travel and medical breakthroughs as well. So I know it sounds ridiculous. But during the course of the books, there's time jumps upwards of 30 years. Which to us would be maybe a third of our life. But in the show, they don't really barely age at all. You know, it's like, you know, going from your 20s to your 30s basically. But to do that properly, you have to kind of suspend a little bit of logic. So it makes sense. It's also a very cheeky way of writing himself out of a corner. It's written by one person, but it's actually 2 people. It's kind of one of those weird things. It's 2 people with a pseudonym for as one person. And they're old sci-fi writers. I think they wrote for a show and stuff. They're good, really good books. And like, as much as once you get into the alien stuff, you're kind of like, oh god, are they going to jump the shark? They never fully jump the shark. It's pretty impressive. Things do get a little bit of fantastical, but they continue to try and stay grounded, which I really enjoy. Because, you know, they have to show you how faster than light travel existed. And how wormholes exist and things like that, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Think Interstellar. If you can grasp the black hole travel in Interstellar,
whatever this treasure is,
you're fine with The
one
Expanse.
thing we know is that it will change everything.
It's all got to do with theories, you know. We can't prove anything ourselves in our own lifetime. So it's theories upon theories.
All the money in the world,
but sometimes it's nice to see those theories being put to
it
use,
would be doing this.
even if it's just wishful thinking. That's the beauty of theorizing. I like it.
Okay, not
You've got the usual
this exactly,
Telltale goodness, like we've
but
got a love
working
story
with you to
here.
help build
We've
a
got a
better future for
mutiny on
Felt.
board the ship.
I want to be a part of it.
We got a lot going
You'll
on.
have me. I mean,
There's a lot of titties. A lot of titties. I'd be lucky. Oh, see, I'm afraid to get too
I'd be
personal
lucky
with her.
to have you.
And Drummer's not
would
really
the
like that
opening.
either. Well, she's a lot softer in the
As long
show.
as you're sure that's what you
In this one, she's cold. I like that. She's much younger. You don't get to see Drummer in
I
a big
wanna be
way
a part of
until
something that
season
matters.
2, season 3, you know?
And I want to be with the
But by
only
then,
person who's
season
ever
3,
made
4,
me
5,
feel
and 6,
like I matter to.
she is a battle-hardened badass. She's awesome. The amount of badass women in the show is amazing. You got Bobby, who's a Martian. She goes around in like Fallout power armor, just wiping bullets off her suit. It's fucking amazing. She's a badass. And then you've got obviously like the politician side of it, which I don't, you know me, I don't really fuck with it. I've always been outspoken about that. Jesus, look at this.
Holy shit, this is beautiful.
That's a cult. That's literally like fucking Jonestown or something, you know? Mass suicide to an alien species. Fuck, it's horrifying.
It would be beautiful if it wasn't filled with dead belters.
But yeah, the political side of it's handled very well. A lot of fucks and stuff.
That shape at the bottom.
I'd say
recognize it from
it's
the coordinates.
close to something like the Hunger Games
promising.
politics, where you're
Let me
like,
check the server for this section.
shut up and
I'll
shoot him in the
meet
face kind of thing. One time ever like hot dogs with my girlfriend, made them in omelette? I've never heard of that, dude. Cool. I'm a bit of an omelette connoisseur myself. I'll go and make like a dessert omelette, which is just a fancy
Sector's
fucking
thermo scanner reports biometric
crepe, honestly.
There must have been someone here.
Dude, oh, I was about to say, is someone gonna burst out of here? I don't like...
They're still here!
Oh, shit.
Coming down.
No, stay back. Try to get eyes.
This is bad. I don't like Maya being here. Someone's gonna get killed. Have Guardians of the Galaxy. What kind of decisions are we making there? Yeah. What about Batman?
My name is Camina Drummer. I don't know who you are, but
I know who you are. You're the pirate JP sent to take me out. Lousy in your scum. But you'll never find that sample.
Until
Maya.
dawn. Right,
I
right.
see him. He has you pinned down. I'll try to direct you from up here.
But see, I don't think these games were about who can you keep alive and who can you, you know, how many can you kill. But their games, like Detroit Become Human and all their games, have definitely been about, let's do a full kill run, let's do a full pacifist run. Roger, roger. Alright, time for, oh fuck. Sorry. Only winged him.
But I don't think he's down. I lost visual.
Maya!
Wait, he's charging. Your left now.
No, bitch. Nice. LT. Just a really lock on. Oh. Yo. Who was he? He can't be the only one left. Ah, fuck. It's not good.
Wrist terminal broken. And he was running low on oxygen.
It sounds rancid.
The hypoxia must have made him disoriented. He seemed to confuse you for someone else.
Yeah.
JP?
Hypoxia, man. That's scary. It's when you run out of oxygen, you start to hallucinate and everything. before you inevitably pass out and die.
His oxygen was so low, I don't think he even knew who he was shooting at.
There's a stronger way to show that
I know
your
he just tried
decisions
to
matter
kill
and
you,
make you
but-
witness a character getting ripped to shreds.
Poor guy.
You're right, you're right. What would you say is the best use of actual meaningful choice in video games? Is it a thing, you know? Because I have played hundreds upon hundreds, and it has really become a thing in the last 10 or 15 years where they really, like, it's almost a fucking trope at this point that your choices matter, you know? Honestly, as weird as it sounds, although most of them don't lead to, like, true death or anything, I really enjoy how The Witcher handles stuff, you know? Now, unfortunately, a lot of their tying up loose ends were handled by little cutscenes, little drawn cutscenes at the end, you know? Which, you know, it didn't leave anything left. You know, it tidied up plot holes, but it also felt very, you know, it's like, well done, here's a cutscene kind of thing. I don't know, it is a tough one, you're right, dude. Like, I don't think it can be handled truly well. Even these games where they're like, we've over 130 different endings, you see that there is the minor, like, almost to the point of just a word being changed, you know? So, how does that really matter? Do you really feel like you've done that much? I think that's a bug. Unless, no, I think you might have shot out our oxygen. Yeah, I don't know, it's a funny one. You're fucking right, though, dude. I feel exactly the same. It's become...
This wrist terminal is too busted to search.
Like, at the end of the day, if someone
There's
does
a hand
die
terminal over there.
because of your actions,
Must be his.
and then they're not there, I mean, that definitely is a change, right? In this case, we there was a mutiny in episode 1, and you had a choice whether to space the captain, was just shoot him out of the airlock, or put him in the brig. So clearly, there's a whole conversation there. Now, he's probably going to end up dead no matter what, you know, that kind of way. Like I said, you know, you're going to end up at the same place as everyone else, but it's the journey along the way, the little bits in between. You could definitely say that for The Walking Dead as well. But, yeah, everyone ended up in the same final cutscene. But there was a lot of great characters along the way that you could keep alive just a little bit longer. But, yeah, as for long-term meaningful choices, it didn't really exist. I've played a lot of those. Yeah, like Until Dawn and all those. Like, yeah, you could genuinely have complete characters gone. But it almost came down to, they were very smart. It was all, like, scenario-based, you know? So it felt, especially with Detroit Become Human, Detroit Become Human almost had it down to an art, where you could just go back and play it, just to get that other little piece that you missed, you know? So it was just little pieces of puzzles, whether you had found it off the floor or not, or maybe the dog get this piece, or, you know, that kind of way. It was just a more complete puzzle versus,
There's a message
your
on
other
there.
playthrough.
You stole something from me.
No, it's a tough one. Yeah, Until Dawn, yeah. I think those slasher kind of games and that really lend themselves well to choice-based.
My partner has other ideas.
But
We know.
the funny thing is,
Contacted the UN
they did it really well with Until Dawn,
Some pirates got to them first.
and they haven't been able
Pirates.
to
Are they?
recapture that magic.
Don't worry about them. Just send me your location and hold tight. However you
Like,
deal
the
with your
quarry
partner,
was
I'm never
extremely mid, you know?
This
and
is why I love Earth.
A lot of the Dark Pictures anthology
So this man stole the
have
energy
also
core,
been mid.
brought it out here with his partner.
I'm okay with mid, but
His
Ah.
partner, who must be around here somewhere. Maybe they have the core.
if you were to ask me whether I'd get a game a year that was exceptionally mid versus waiting 2 to 3 years to get something really special, that's a no-brainer right there. What's going on here? Is there something else on his corpse? I wonder what that means.
His oxygen was so low, I don't think he even knew who he was shooting at.
I know he just tried to kill you, but
Look at this place.
poor guy.
These are usually like pods that are sent off into space to save people, you know, like genetic fertilized eggs and stuff like that. Not fucking bodies. The game, the show even, it shies away from religion, but there isn't a religious aspect, and it's not the religion you'd think. It's the 23rd century, and it's fucking Mormons of all people that have survived. But they're still as whacked out as ever. They build this giant ark, this huge space station that is the biggest thing ever created, and they plan to live inside there like a utopia and blast themselves off into deep space, trying to find, you know, their Mormon god. It's pretty goofy. But it's not long until that whole thing is shut down. It's kind of comical how it happens, actually. I enjoy it.
This man worked for whoever made the MK Corp.
But it's no doubt that
So where's his partner?
probably one of the writers is Mormon. He's just like, yay! Represent my own fucking religion. My personal experience, and it seems like in Earth's fucking experience, religion has never truly helped in any way. You know, it's not something that furthers humanity in terms of social intelligence. It's not something that furthers humanity in technology or anything, really. It's just a spiritual thing, a spiritual weak point, I think, in our psyche, where we latch on to it. If anything, it holds humanity back because we kill each other over it, we judge each other over it, and we put far too much time, effort, and money into something that can never truly be proven. It is blind faith, and sometimes it's the blind leading the blind off a cliff. And that's how I feel about religion. But to teach their own. If you found God, if you have some kind of a good story around it, or something that just helps you get through life, so be it. You know, that's your journey, and I'm not here to tell you to stop. You know.
There's a message on here.
What else do we do here? It looks like I have to
You stole something from me.
combine these together. No.
Luckily for you,
I think if I leave,
Tragedy
we'll
return
find
is
the other
greater
guy.
than my desire for revenge.
Let me see.
This will be your only chance. Say I was open to it. My partner has other ideas. We know. She's already contacted the UN and their Shinabi. Luckily, some pirates got to them first. Pirates? Are they... Don't worry about them.
Yeah, it's
Send
like
me your location
you're right. Like
and
there's
hold
be a
tight.
better way of doing it
However you
without
deal with your
ripping
partner,
them to
mind me,
shreds.
clean it
And
up.
then, but until dawn, that's literally what they do.
This is why I love Earthers.
Until Dawn uses the classic slasher trope beautifully, like expertly, and it was something different for its time, and that's exactly why they haven't been able to recapture it. It's an old thing, you know. So when The Quarry came along, it was done. It's been done to death every which way, and it got to the point, even these Telltale games, which I love, that when they started to introduce something as common as just normal gameplay, you know, we started to feel like it was fresh again. And it'll tell you that sometimes setting the bar low and just focusing on an interactive story really does seem to allow you to shift and change. Like by the end, by The Walking Dead, the final season, you have, you know, freedom of shooting bows and arrows and stuff, you know. So it got as close to real life gameplay as you're gonna get. Hold on, is there something in here? I like this weird cult symbol. It's cool. It kind of reminds me of Assassin's Creed a little bit. It's almost like a very kind of architect's point of view of a DNA strand, you know, a double helix. If you see it, it's kind of wound around itself. Yeah, like I mean, we talk about what's going on in game writing and movie writing these days, where we've definitely peaked, and now everyone's kind of just copying each other's homework. But I think game writing is vastly better than 90% of movie writing. God, listen to this shit. The Cassiopeia Collective. Okay. Future traveler, we lay our beloved children before you. So this may not be connected to the Phoebe station. This appears to be just a cult religion based around a possible higher being, alien, you know. Like, I don't even know if you could call them extraterrestrials when you're already in space, you know, because the literal term of terrestrial is to be on Earth, to be on our planet. At this, and then even just the term alien is so fucking fundamentally stupid as well. But I take that over what NASA's been calling half of these things. You got what, the UPAs now instead of UFOs. But you know, aliens being used for people who are illegally in a country as well.
They're
so it's
all
just
children. It's a children's tomb.
That's fucked up. Yeah, this is some fucking Jonestown massacre shit. They drank the Kool-Aid. There's another thing. Telltale always their decision saved the character, but that character. Yeah, I was saying that. And what's wrong with that? It's
They
their,
buried
you
their
know.
children here first. Couldn't bear the thought of recycling them.
The problem with that, dude, is because the writers keep moving on.
So here they are.
I wonder, is that a glitch, or do we get shot? She doesn't seem to be worried about it. Yeah, the writers kept moving on over Tomb of the Unburied. See, they lost to the illness. Their bodies are tragically recycled before our minds were awakened. Ooh. See, that's like, that's weird. Yeah, so even after season 1, the writers moved on, and you could tell this is actually what's happening in movies as well, especially in the MCU. You've got this crazy entire connected world over the span of, God, nearly probably 30 movies at this point. But very rarely are any of them written by the same person, or just the same person alone, you know? So we went from having these great nods to each other and post-credit scenes and everything. Now it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. And it's just become, here's a cameo from a deep cut from a comic from 50 years ago that kids have no fucking clue what it is. Like, half of them are waiting for their favorite YouTuber to do a goddamn fucking analysis on it or a review before they realize, like, there's very rarely die-hard comic fans, you know, especially outside of America. Most of us know the regulars, but I'm talking about the deep cuts, the one issues, you know, the one issue runs,
they suffered.
Or the specials. Some stuff you just can't even pick up anymore.
At least they weren't forgotten.
Mr. C, what up? How's it going? Hello, Bernie. Blasphemous 2. It is. I've seen that, dude. I'm gonna get it. I didn't realize, but they released a physical copy, so I'm gonna get a physical copy of it.
Here.
I'm excited. This also came out today, so I'm knee deep in this already. This is episode 3, so it'd be silly of me not to cover it as soon as I can.
What do you think happened?
And tomorrow we'll have Armored Core 6. We'll do some more Texas Chainsaw Massacre. We got loads coming. Oh, cool. We got a little investigation. I like it. Yeah, this one alone has, weirdly enough, it reminds me so much of Batman. I don't know why, but I wouldn't be surprised if you told me half the team was on the Batman.
Guess they stashed it before they had their fight.
Between the art style, and we got little investigation, and even the color palette. We're seeing a lot of greys and blacks, and it goes well with the show, but it also makes me think of their Batman series. Do not duplicate, and immediately does. Alright, here we go. See the MK core. What the fuck is that? Phoebe! It is Phoebe Station! Holy shit. So the entire show starts off after the aftermath of Phoebe Station. Like I was saying to you, Phoebe Station is based on the moon Phoebe. It's one of Saturn's moons, and as you kind of go throughout the show, you realize that there was aliens found on it, and they built this laboratory station all around the aliens so they could experiment on it. And they got so far with the experiment and then realized that they needed some guinea pigs. So the dirty bastards literally shut down the station by offering up everybody as test subjects to the alien, allowing the alien to basically infect the entire station. Some fucked up shit for sure. It was done on purpose. But yeah, that's pretty much how things start off with The Expanse. We bump into our main characters. They're running from all this nasty fucking cover-up aboard a ship called the Canterbury, which gets basically destroyed, and they end up escaping on a Martian pod. And then that's where the Cant comes from. So they end up becoming martyrs in a way. It's really cool, and everyone aboard the ship, you know, the Rossi as it's called, it's a nod to Don Quixote. It means like workhorse Rossienta. They're from each faction. It's just the way it goes. You got the captain, who's Earth, known as the Dirter. That's kind of like a derogatory term. Then you've got a Belter. Then you've got the Martian. He's a pilot. Although by saying Martian, you might think of like aliens and stuff, but no, it's just people who live on Mars because it's set in the 23rd century. They've now, you know, Earth has moved on and terraformed Mars, but the people who have been born on Mars and grown up on Mars hate Earth, so they're locked in a bit of a proxy war. But yeah, that's how things started. Phoebe Station is, without a shadow of doubt, like the beginning of everything, you know? Patient Zero type shit. Pretty cool. It goes from Phoebe to Ceres to Eros to the planet Venus. Like, there's so... I think it touches on nearly every planet in our own solar system. It's pretty cool. Pretty damn cool. I enjoyed the show immensely. So I'm glad to see this. Like, obviously, if I had my way, you know, I'd have fully functional, like, third-person shooter adventure games. But, I mean, not everything needs to be that, you know? I get it. But in terms of how the war is fought between Earth and Mars and the power armor and everything, I would love that. We'll see. Already the way this is pitched, I'm enjoying it. I'd love to see a season 2, possibly going around someone else's story in the show, you know, maybe aboard the Roscienta or even Fred Johnson. He's huge, you know, he's a great character. Or maybe even further into the books where we talk about the Free Nation, which is really cool. That's when you've got a, you know, literally a war over new planets and stuff like that. Alright, so here we go. You see the molecular stuff. So they nickname it the Proto molecule. They don't have any name for it. And the Proto comes from the word Proto, but it also stands for Protogen, which is the name of the shadow organization. If you hear Protogen, think bad, shady motherfuckers. Here you go, cellular replication. So that's one big part of the alien. Experiment was terminated early when replication continued outside of expected parameters. That's a fancy scientific way of saying it was spreading like a fucking virus. And that's exactly what happens. So when you try and kill these proto-molecule, this alien thing, you can't because it works like a fucking virus. Even when you shoot a hole in it, it just immediately replicates and closes up the hole. It's like armor. It's like fucking liquid metal Terminator 2 Robert Patrick shit, you know? But it's all in the shape of almost like a bioluminescent alien. It's pretty fucking cool. They're scary as shit. They have no problem just bending and twisting our little human bodies into a pretzel. Yeah, they were sick bastards, man. They started to try it and basically infect children with the molecule as well. As usual, like most of these things are, it always starts out as using it as a weapon, you know, creating super soldiers and using it as a weapon. They would infect children because they were still kind of growing up, and when they would do that, it would bond with the proto molecule and sort of allow the child to grow with it, and that would turn them into crazy fucking strong little kids, man. They're like Fortnite kids on Adderall, jumping on the walls and shit. But eventually they succumbed to it as well. So then they realized that they couldn't create super soldiers. Then they would create an alien kind of biological bomb. Yeah. Let's see. This is cool though. Decontamination. Yeah, they'll show that they can't. Look at this accidental exposure to staff. Accidental. Get the fuck out of here. Experiment in 3 subjects were housed in exam room. Transmission began with our subjects complained of disorientation, fever, vomiting. After 4 days, chest and stomach pain were primary symptoms. Damn. Yeah, so the proto-molecule, the alien, feeds off radiation. Whew! And what's the greatest fucking, you know, thing that pushes out radiation? All these lovely fusion engines that are inside the spaceships. So the first thing it wants to do is just eat the engine.
The MK core isn't a treasure.
It's a weapon.
It's a weapon.
What kind of weapon?
I don't know. Something alive. And fucking dangerous.
How about you, Bernie? How's Halo going? Plans to start to the benefit of future histories. Biomedical revolution rivaled only by the advance of scientific nitrogen. Of course, like most scientists, they're just so fucking horny to mess with these things. And before they ask, should we? They fucking ask, what can we do? How can we destroy? How can we mess with it? And it's too late then, you know? Curiosity killed the cat, and all these cats have little scientist coats on. Yeah. We have the potential to eradicate cancer, reverse... yeah. But it's a really great personal story as well in The Expanse. I love it. Like, the main story in the first like season and 2, and it kind of follows the entire show, is about Thomas Jane, who you might know as one of the original live-action Punishers. He's a detective, and then you've got Julie Mao, who's this sadly a very disillusioned girl who ends up at the heart of everything, the poor thing. And yeah, it's really beautiful. There's some great shots as well. How they deal with the idea of an alien consciousness, a hive mind, and something that is not necessarily destructive in nature. It just is trying to understand us as much as we're trying to understand them. I love it. There's some wonderful shots. Honestly, some of the best CGI I've seen in a TV show. Looking at you, fucking Disney and Marvel, absolute garbage fire. Fucking hell, it's like two rubber men you made out of Play-Doh just humping the shit out of each other. Right, so this is Black Panther. Oh shit, that one bit where they're fighting on the bridge midair with the camera spinning around like someone's gonna vomit. Some of the worst CGI I've seen, not just in Marvel or Disney, just ever. Like I'm talking, I've seen better as 90s fucking CGI when they were still trying to figure things out. Those digital shots, man, are the worst thing to happen to modern movies. It's so unrealistic. It looks ridiculous. Even like Avatar, all of it. Like I know that we can't do normal shots for some of this fantastical stuff. I get it. But let's just not spin it around. Like, let's not just make it so unrealistic. Jesus Christ. You know, we talk about the uncanny valley when it comes to, you know, certain CGI and character models that almost, you know, make you think they're real. That's the whole point. But we've gone so far away from that in so many other ways, you know, with the bad CGI and ridiculous digital shots and camera shots. I don't mind digital cuts, you know. Most of the time I can actually even find them, you know. I'm like, right there, boom. They'll pass by something in the foreground that will just turn the screen black for a split second, and all they need is a frame, and that digital shot can happen. But then you see these movies that will do one shots, you know, the miracle of the one shot, where you upwards of like 15 minutes without fucking ever cutting. It's like, what the hell, you know? So when I see the dedication and time, like, you know that if someone fucks up once, that shot has to start the whole thing again. So yeah, I have so much respect for that kind of filmmaking versus here's a digital camera spinning around while two digital blobs fight each other behind a giant green screen. It's just, it can be done well. It can be, like, probably, you know, between the Weta studio and yeah, things like Avatar and that, it probably is some of the best CGI out there. But there's just such fun, like, I actually blame 3D for it. I do, because it brought in such nonsense, you know, this thing of like pointing stuff at the camera, pushing it just for 3D's sake. 3D has disappeared, but that kind of nonsense has stuck around, you know, where you've got these shots that are very self-serving, you know. Oh, it's meant to poke you in the eye. Oh, there's water coming out of the screen. That kind of shit. It's the same stuff that's happening. And I get it, you know, that we're trying to breach a new field of entertainment and reach new heights and all that, but you end up with just a lot of mess on screen. And then you get these kind of very derogatory movies that look at Rebel Moon. Like, I'm excited for Rebel Moon, but to say that that's not like 97% Star Wars would be a foolish thing to say, you know, because it is. So a lot of stories are just completely based on each other. Like, DC and Marvel can't wait to copy each other, you know. They're like those two kids in class that are waiting for the other guy to write something down just so they can copy it. And you can see it more than ever, you know. I don't think the fans are as stupid as they once were. It's not just a spectacle on screen anymore. It's just very, very lazy all around. Lazy writing, lazy CGI. And the budgets just keep getting bigger. And I can't fathom where the fucking money's been spent, because it most certainly is not on the movie itself. Like, have you ever seen stop motion or Jim Henson or claymation, and you see how those sets are built? These sets are not just built for the shots and the movie. They're built in an intricate way where the puppeteers can move in between them, where you've got all these crazy shots. And then you go and see Robert De Niro sitting in a fucking room that is completely green, from the chair to the light bulbs to the ceiling to the fucking turd in the toilet, you know? It's bad. It is so bad. And you tell me that set is going to cost me more than what the fuck they're doing with stop motion and practical effects? No way. No way. I'm telling you, there's going to be a big expose in about 10 years, and we see all the money laundering that Disney and Marvel and DC and all these big places have done. They reckon that they have these giant aircraft carriers turned into movie sets. Huh? It's just a square, green square, or a blue square. Fucking stupid. Did you ever see that video floating around Twitter? Where it's this woman sitting, it's like a indie green screen effects, and she's just standing in a room, right? And on top you see how she moves throughout the green screen set, and at the bottom you see the CGI, and she's only moving forward and back, and it looks like she's going into a lift, but down below she's like traveling through this cyberpunk world, and she's only, on the top screen you see she's only moved like 10 steps in any direction. It's pretty impressive, but shows that you know, Disney and Marvel and you know, James Cameron, all of them have lost the plot. They've lost. If you can do so much with so little, where is these $400 million budgets? You know, the movie's like $300 million. Stick another $150 million into marketing. Yeah, it's stupid. It's so stupid. We're at this point where a movie will make $150 million opening weekend, and that's not good enough. Huh? And you got things like Napoleon Dynamite and other like stuff made for like $5,000 the entire movie. So fucking broken. God damn it. One-shots are done to death. You're right. You are right. It has become another trope.
Looks like the scientists contacted
Jesus.
the UNN.
Like,
They sent over the Shinobi.
it's a trope I'm willing to put up with for a while.
From leaking out.
Good God.
I have compiled.
You can also do fake one-shots. Yes, they do that. They do.
Risks. I now truly believe we may be looking at an eschatological event. I thought I could deliver this.
I agree with you. I think most of us, myself included, we're just been led astray
All that matters is that
to
I
believe
destroy
that it's a
the
one-shot, you know.
will be done to the rest of this cursed substance.
Then eventually it comes out and they're like, no, it wasn't a one-shot. But it technically is a one-shot. Like, people have gone into a massive argument on Twitter over what is a shot. You know, that kind of way? And you've got the, you know, the classic people who probably have spent too much time in film school, like, who will argue against CGI being a shot at all. You're like, that's not a shot. There's no film being used. You know, that kind of way? And I'm like, okay, Jesus, Mary and Joseph. And then you've got the other guys who,
it's a weapon.
like I said,
What kind of weapon?
Look at
something alive.
a full
dangerous
CGI shot and not call it that, you know?
So they stole the MK core and brought it here. But then our security guard turned on his partner and shot her?
Seems right.
So the MK core is some kind
A
of...
good old double agent.
I don't know. And neither do the scientists.
I know, sorry to go ranty again. Where would you take Halo
Yet this
7?
company is pouring endless amounts of money into it.
Well, you know
They're
me,
willing to
Bernie, I
kill
am
to keep it
desperate
secret,
to bring the
and now
flood
they're
back,
having human
you know?
tests.
Not
So,
humans.
yeah.
Belters.
I would go full horror. That's what I would do with Halo. I would go full horror. Like, let Master Chief be as strong. Let's not strip him back. Like, Jesus Christ. We've done enough stupid stuff. But you can do horror with you know, superpowered beings, you know? I think Doom handles it well. Obviously, that's gore and shooting. But, yeah, that's what I think. Give Halo to id Software, and let them go full horror. I want to see Horror Survivor. Give me Halo meets Dead Space with the Flood, you know? I'm talking about new technology. Like, what they did with the Flood back then, it was literally called the Flood because it looked, even though there were tiny little nasty bacteria, creepy monsters, it looked like a flood of an infection coming towards you. Like, it's pretty scary. Now imagine that with today's technology. Imagine that with the power of Unreal Engine 5 and DLSS and the SSDs, you know what I mean? Like, you could literally have this almost dam bursting effect of water, but it's actually the flood coming towards you, you know? And yeah, I'm down for that. I worry about them consistently introducing new alien species into Halo, because I know the Covenant can get a little bit long in the tooth. But here's the thing, you can't introduce new alien species into a series and then just go, yeah, they were not around for the last 300 years of games, you know, that kind of way. I fucking hate that. That is the laziest writing ever. Oh, sorry, we were asleep. We were cryogenically frozen for 300 years. Like, I get it, you gotta freshen it up, but what they did with the Prometheans and that was just lazy. And then by the time Halo 5 was the one, I think, that it broke everything, you know? That's why we had to do Halo Infinite. They wrote themselves into a disastrous corner. Halo 4 was the beginning of it, but Halo 5 just cemented it. And even though I was excited for them, they were written and handled so badly that I would rather just brush them under the rug now at this point. There's no redemption for the Prometheans. The latest one, Halo Infinite, went back with the, what was it called, the Fallen? It was basically a sect of brutes and Covenant that split away and wanted to chase down and take on the Demon, the Ghost, Master Chief. I like that idea. People shat all over it because he wasn't big enough, but he was actually connected to, a little bit to the old games and connected to Halo Wars 2. And that's something I've never seen them do before. They doubled down on an expanded universe villain, and I fucking love it. It's really cool. Halo Infinite is basically a little bit of Doom, a little bit of Halo, and a little bit of God of War, and it fucking works. I don't know why, like, I can't play it without the grapple hook now. It was that good. So I don't know what you do with it, to tell you the truth. I really enjoyed the open areas. You know, because Halo will always be 80% multiplayer. Yeah, it's doing well now, but yeah, it's their first time handling a battle pass, battle royale thing. I would actually go for a full battle royale. What I wish they would do is, in terms of all of these, Gears of War especially, it's time to do these half royales. That's what I like. Let's get 40, let's get 30 people in there, let's get 50 people in there. I don't need the full 100. And let's shorten these maps up, you know. There's absolutely no need for me to be traipsing around for 15 minutes. That's what I would do. Like, what was that? Was there like a 50v50 thing? I fucking love that. Sorry, I'm getting on base here.
Or tricked into agreeing to this, assuming
I like the flood. Yes, more flood, please. I think they're really cool. I'd like to see more of the flood were used. They're part of the Halo rings, for Christ's sake, you know. They're so
a weapon they didn't understand.
Importantly connected to Halo that to just not have them for 4 or 5 games is just stupid.
That's horrible.
It's also a third enemy that we desperately need, you know. That's why it's so good. That reveal in the first one
station
is amazing.
Because
we were already putting up with fucking Covenant, you know.
Here to die. Just another chapter in the story.
I dig it so much.
Got something.
The problem with all of these is they're having a serious problem passing the torch. I think every big franchise has not successfully done it. Maybe if you guys can name some, I'd be down to think about it.
Ready?
But like, God of War cannot do with Atreus. They've created this annoying little shit of a kid. Uncharted, I don't think they can do it with Cassie. I don't know. I hope so. I think that's a bug on her suit. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It's just a bit of air. The MK core. So this may be a proto-molecule sample.
We found it.
This thing has the power to destroy the entire solar system.
And now we're going to destroy it.
Or be used as some kind of a weapon. In the show it becomes a bit of a linchpin, you know? A bargaining tool. Most importantly, a fucking blackmailing tool. But once it's released, its devastation is unreal. And it can never reach Earth or Mars. But they have no problem using the Belters as both transportation and guinea pigs and such. The Expanse is really cool. I'd love to see them do even more with it, you know, because a lot of games have come from TV shows and movies, and it just has not worked that well. And most of it comes from not doing your due diligence and not earning the audience's respect, and most importantly, earn their time, right? It's our time we're using, so that's a tough thing to do. And sometimes that comes with a good show, or sometimes it comes with a good game first. But it's tough. It is tough. People are far more, you know, selective with their time, which is understandable.
What are you going to tell
But we also want things now. Alright, we have to protect the belt. That would be definitely a drummer thing to say, because she is 100% a belter for life, you know. Beltawa. They have their own little language, but it's kind of Creole based, so it's cool. There's one guy in the show, and he's like Scottish, But he pulls it off pretty well. But yeah, the accent, every now and then he's got a little twang on him. And but he's great, Anderson Dawes. Let's see. Yeah, should we tell them? This is going to be the big episode 3 thing, isn't it?
That the people with the money to buy this are the same people who would use
I don't think we're going to be allowed to, like, leave with this.
Unless we don't sell it.
Ooh.
Hear me out. Whatever this is, it could still be everything you need to help the belt. What if we kept it?
As a weapon? Or as a bargaining chip?
Call it what you
I
want.
fucking write this
No
stuff
one would
myself.
mess with the OPA if they knew.
The OPA doesn't work that way. There's
Mm.
100 factions with 1,000 gold.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The OPA would tear itself apart.
It might be an alliance, but
Why
it's
are you
full
so
of
sure of that?
different
You're talking
little,
like an
you know,
inner.
I'm
splinter
talking like
groups and
someone who knows the
sleeper
OPA.
cells.
Who knows men like Dawes and what they do? to
Damn,
the
one
world.
episode ago these two were
But
fucking.
the belt may never.
But now
get
you
a
got
chance
that
like this
post-nut
again.
clarity, you know?
You can't just take that away.
It's just fart vapor. Nice!
You don't get it.
Dude, Dynamite, if I had the
You
money,
never bounced around
the,
in zero
the,
G
the
for a
power,
while,
the will,
but you
I would change
don't understand
overnight,
the belt.
like Thanos snap, I would change everyone's vape with fart juice. Oh my god. Because I have had so much vape blown in my fucking face, I want to elbow the people to do it. We just got over, like, an airborne pandemic, and people are the scummiest, dirtiest cunts ever. They'll cough in your face, they'll blow vape in your... I'm telling you, we've learned nothing, man. Bring on COVID 2.0, I'm here for it. Let's wipe the stupid smooth brains off the fucking face of the planet already. Fucking idiot. It's almost like they do it in defiance of just having to wear a bit of fabric on their face. Let's be a scummy, smelly bastard. Let our dogs shit everywhere. Let's cough in people's faces and vape in people's faces. I'm telling you. The world is... We're reaching like peak sheep, you know? Fucking hell. Get off your phones, man, and get into your own life. Step into your body. You've disassociated for too long. Time to live your fucking life. So I think if we choose here... I love leaving them here with the idle animations. Like... What I'm gonna have for dinner? Yeah, Jesus. I'm gonna have some chicken noodles. Oh yeah. Bum bum. Bum bum.
Belters can't afford to lie to themselves. We deal with things as they are. Good.
I gotta play Drummer
And no matter what we want
as a
to do,
cold-hearted bitch.
this
Because she only softens up in the show. You gotta be careful. Maya
is as bad as it
is ex-MCRN. She's an ex-Martian. And I have noticed that the Martians are almost indoctrinated. Where no matter
Not like a Martian.
how good they
Like
are,
a Belter.
they turn. They fucking turn.
You've seen out here
Like
so
Alex, the pilot aboard the Rossi. I don't know if I can ever trust him in a single
ends
episode.
for us.
Careful, you shouldn't have handed to her. She's liable to pull a gun. Maya.
Fuck.
Okay.
You're right.
Nice. Dang.
Let's do what we have to do.
That didn't take much convincing. Drummer must have eaten her out something fierce. God damn. She's just fucking raw the next morning. Sheesh. So we're gonna hide it aboard this ship. That's not good. Wait, what? Uh-oh. Somebody else.
What are you doing?
See, Baratna? Told you we couldn't trust her.
Ooh. Careful. The twins, huh? Why are you shooting Maya?
Hand it over. Now.
Who are you working for? Oh, come on, that easy? What if they're working together? Maya, what the fuck, girl? Bonk. Maybe she already took it out of it. No, it's a containment unit. It's not something you can just take out.
And that?
Oh, come on. I suppose Drummer does not need a gun to kick some ass.
Arlen. Listen to me.
Could hurt the belt. It's a death sentence. One of them is a fucking ex-junkie. The other one's a pussy. This is what we're dealing with. Two dumbass twins. But they are extreme belters. And unfortunately, that means that they'll do whatever will help the belt. Including unleashing a fucking alien menace onto people.
That is a death sentence. You'll never be able to unload it without getting killed in the process.
Not fart
That's your
juice.
issue.
Yes.
No faith in your
100%
crew.
real.
I already have a
Mine.
buyer on Series.
Damn it, Arlen, you don't understand what you're doing.
You always think you know better than everyone else. That's how you always end up here, yeah?
Postman
I don't
Pat?
know what the fuck your plan is, but you can't just take over the ship and throw Drummer in the brig.
No brig. Airlock.
Ooh, she wants to be spaced.
Just got to head back to Series and...
Tinsha!
See?
How long is the trip to Ceres? Huh? 2
One
weeks?
pussy, one
3?
junkie. Together, not even a man
Going to
between
stay
them.
awake the whole time? Until we sell this thing, she'll be trying to take it back. Stubber or voila.
You might ask, why does Drummer want to be spaced?
Oh my
Because
God.
she's a crazy
There
bitch,
has
man.
to
She'll
be
climb on
another
the
way.
outside of the ship and get
While
back in.
she's on board is still her ship. You think Maya and Virgil will take orders from us while she's around?
It makes sense this would happen, though.
It's the only
You
way to
can't
finish this.
cause a mutiny,
Take her to the airlock.
get rid of the captain, and expect your own fucking, you know, crew not to do the same to you, you know? It's the way it goes. Welcome to the real world, bitch. But, you know, these kind of moments, like... Oh, nice. Gonna turn on his own brother. Yeah, these moments crack me up, because obviously she's in the show. I am gonna trust him. But he is a weak son of a bitch. I'm gonna trust him. His brother is out of his pocket right now. He's completely wound up. He's an ex-junkie. The drug of choice in this one's literally called pixie dust, which is hilarious if you ever seen a kid eat a pixie dust stick. It's like, oh yeah, fucking sugar. But yeah, the fact that he would turn against his twin, though, I don't know if I could. I don't know. We'll see. He's been beaten up and bullied by his twin, though.
Cap. For real. I wish I could stop Arlen.
So she's such a tiny little badass. I'm telling you. Sheesh. People say I like tall, dummy mummies. I don't know. I'll take a few shorty baddies. You can let me. Ooh.
You can. Help me take him down.
But Ratna's the only reason I'm alive. The only...
We treat you like
reason
shit,
that
dude. I'll take just end the series. Some don't need long MCU level series. Yeah. I think it isn't even a hot take, dude. You're right. I always say, like, most of these shows, if you do 4 good seasons, what's wrong with that? It allows for syndication. It allows for, like, box sets and all that. You're good. If you can't tell a story in 4 seasons, what the fuck were you planning?
hurt him, but I won't watch you die either.
Stranger Things always comes to mind. Season 2 is a complete waste of time. Season 3 is a banger. Oh, fuck. Damn.
Can't stand to be apart from your girlfriend, can you?
He fucking shot her.
Let me go!
Maya, what did you do?
Sabaka nearly bit my ear off. Would have clawed my eyes out next.
Arlen, now's the time. Stand up to your brother, you piece of shit.
Wait, she isn't a part of this.
He'll kill you. Stand up to him for once in your life. You don't have to kill him, just knock him out. Don't let him press that button. Come on, Arlen. It's time to step out of your brother's shadow.
We can make it to the station and send a distress signal. Hurry.
I'm the one with the bullet in me.
Yeah.
You take it.
That also means that your suit is no longer secure.
Stop.
I won't let you die. I'm your captain.
We don't have time and I won't let you die.
Yeah, but her suit is not sealed. Oh no. I don't have a choice.
I said I would do anything to help the belt. And nobody can do more for the belt than you.
Aw. Oh shit. So this is what I was saying, it's not an instant vacuum. Oh! Maya, no! Damn.
No!
Go! So yeah, this is something like most people were led to believe that space is a vacuum and it'll suck out your insides once you go out there. But in this case, there's just no air in space. So you've only got the air left in your lungs. So you can hold your breath for however you can, you know, a minute, 30 seconds. But that's it. That's how the show handles it. So it might look a bit silly or unrealistic, but that's their logic. But we're so used to sci-fi shows and books showing a giant vacuum.
Come on!
The vacuum actually is only because of depressurization. Oh, she dead. Whoo, she dead. Damn. There goes the eyeballs. Oh, wait. It's not going to be enough, is it? Oh. Damn. Fucking left without her. Wonder why she couldn't close the door in time. It's just too heavy. Oh.
Maya, please.
No, you can.
Maya.
So yeah, you can survive out in that space for about, God, maybe a couple of minutes tops. It's also the cold that gets you as well. That's what people don't realize. Space where the sun is not shining on you, it can be like fucking minus crazy numbers, you know? And then obviously there's the radiation exposure too, that you can see happening on our skin. Oh, there's not much we could do there, I don't think, right? Damn, I'm sorry, Maya. That's what happens, man. Anyone who has sex, they're on the death list. Nice. Deck 13. Hell yeah. Bong, bong. Or deck 9, sorry. Deck 13 is Atlas. I knew those. Wonder what deck 10, 11, and 12 is. Someone had to say it. But yeah, GG's. They're definitely doing great with the cliffhangers and setting the stakes high enough. I will argue that they're not long enough. I will say that. Even 3 episodes in now, I've barely had about 6 hours of content. But here's the thing. I had a serious issue with old Telltale episodes. They were too long. You know? Coming from someone who used to get up at 5 in the morning to record them, because that's when they used to release, I was fucking pissed off at how long some of them were. And it wasn't time spent in combat scenarios, or it's just spent in conversation, you know? I think Walking Dead will eternally get a free pass, as it should, because it's fantastic. But we let it away with a lot of bullshit. Like talk about like the amount of time you slow walked around just to talk with everyone as Lee or as Clementine, you know, and you're just slow walking from person to person, only for them to be thrust into a 5 to 10 minute conversation, then do it all again. Like we're not in these games for fucking fast and furious moment to moment stuff. But what's weird is when the stakes were high, when the big scary, didn't they have a name for? It was like the danger segments or something. They had a name for them. I can't remember what it was called. They had a name for the moments where people could die and you had to react fast. I can't remember what it was called, but they had a name for it. It used to crack me up. It was like, survived another danger segment or scenario. It was like, danger scenario. It's like, what the fuck does that mean? So you can see they kind of split up the conversation stuff. But I've been enjoying this so far. It really does feel like I'm watching an episode of a show, and then it's every 2 weeks. But they are very short. There's no denying that. I'm barely getting an hour and a half out of each, which is almost half of what they used to be. But yeah, I mean, I'm weird. I'm in the camp of there being far too long with some of the episodes. Obviously, if you do more spacewalking, they want you to explore more and collect all of the collectibles, and in this case, the salvage, you know? So that's something I haven't been doing. So I could easily put a half an hour onto each episode just if I wanted to do that, but most of the time I end up finding the way to the next objective almost accidentally. But that's how games are designed, so that the player kind of always knows where they're going. If they've failed that, they know that there's a word for it. It's like the 30-second action thing. I still would. I'm telling you, choking is one of our kinks. Yeah, hell yeah. So yeah, that's how it happens. So sometimes when they do get spaced, you're expecting some disgusting kind of like inside out thing to happen, you know, like their guts just, but it doesn't really work like that. Now it does happen if things get radically depressurized, you know. I think that's when we ever see most people get sucked out into the vacuum. It's when there's like a hole in the spaceship or something, then you're getting rapid depressurization. That's kind of what happens in real life too, you know, not even in space. I mean, like just when you're in a plane and stuff, people get sucked the fuck out of the plane. Or, yeah, just rapidly losing oxygen and eventually everyone passes out and dies. Nice job. Is the new Assassin's Creed Jesus, I wish, Bernie, I wish. No, not till October 5th, but it has been pushed forward. But there's also Assassin's Creed Jade. I don't know when that's coming out. That's an older school, like, Assassin's Creed Valhalla game set in China. And it's meant to be only PC and mobile only. It's called Assassin's Creed Jade. I don't know when that's coming out, so maybe that's what you're talking about. It's okay. It just looks like Valhalla with a Chinese skin, for better or for worse. I don't know when that's coming out, dude. I wouldn't mind playing it, honestly. I'm such a fucking sucker for those old school ways of doing things. I know they're a grind, and I've been through that grind, but god damn, it's like comfort food. Why do you think Far Cry and Assassin's Creed and all those have been going on for so long? Alright, let's go see our choices. Here we go. Alright, Drummer and Maya didn't talk about sleeping together. Oh shit. Drummer spoke to Maya about sleeping together. I didn't even notice that, damn. 89% Drummer didn't swear revenge on Maya. Drummer retaliated for Maya's earlier prank with the mining charges. Drummer didn't. Alright, so I didn't need to do that. Belter promised. Drummer said he'd be looking to have Maya's help in the belt. Yeah, there's supposed to be a 6th episode as well, which will be about Christian. She's the almost vice president of Earth, of the UNN, and eventually becoming the president. She's cool. Mausoleum reaction. That's pretty split down the middle. Drummer was horrified. Alright, some of these are... I can tell I'm missing like 2 or 3 as well. Oder could have went another way. I should have went hyper-aggressive. Drummer told Maya the Belters don't lie to themselves. Drummer told Maya the Belters prepare for the worst. Drummer trusted Ryan when he took her to the airlock. Drummer fought Arlen and Ryan. 14%. And Maya's fate. Maya was spaced. Maya remained on the Artemis. Oh no, I should have done that. How would that have worked if we fought together? I assume he would have took a shot at Maya though. Oh well, there's not much we can do there. Damn. That's still a pretty... So I know it means it sucks that she dies and all that, but sometimes that kind of death is very poignant. It's sad. And those things will help Drummer. Realistically, we should meet some people from the show, especially Naomi, because she was part of the OPA. And she knows Drummer very well. I think there was even a romantic relationship between the two. And then obviously Christian as well. I doubt we'd see Miller and Julie. He's like a 1940s Sam Spade detective, but he's in the 23rd century in space. He's super cool. Thomas Jane just plays him like fantastically. He's wonderful. He's your typical angry alcoholic detective, you know. He's cool. I like him a lot. He's one of those kind of actors who doesn't have to do a lot, and he kind of just steals the scene, you know. His hair is fucking weird though. He has this kind of half mohawk thing, and I can tell the actor does not like it. It's probably based on the image set out by the book, you know, but the actor does not like it. He wears this fedora because it's like Sam Spade stuff, you know. I don't know if you guys even know Sam Spade. That's probably before your time. It's a classic detective comic book series and show and movie and all that. It was actually so popular that they made a crisp, a potato chip type of snack over here called Sam Spuds with a Z. But there you go. That was episode 3. Very short and sweet. Probably could have done more. Episode 4 will be coming, I believe it said September 7th. Let me have a look here. I'm enjoying it. I think I'll be very honest, right? I think they should have waited and made The Wolf Among Us Season 2 as the launch pad, because clearly Telltale have an uphill battle to get back into the mainstream. It is what it is, right? You've been gone for 4 years. You've gone through horrible turmoil and basically a massive turnaround of leadership and staff, and you now have to prove yourself again. It's the way it is. Like we still love Telltale. We're here for them, but you gotta win us back. It's the way it is. Anyone who remembers Telltale are much older now, and anyone that was young even playing them has probably moved on things. So you are met with the pressure of having to win people back again. I'm on board, you know.